have a very intense thunderstorm that is ongoing right now. And the National Weather Service is saying winds are possibly near 100 miles an hour or higher as the storm moves at about 70 miles an hour.
The sirens went off, so we all went down into the basement. We live right next door in the parsonage, and you start to hear just kind of these sounds, and it just gets louder and louder. This just kept going, and you just kept hearing crashing and things breaking.
So right around Keystone, right along Highway 30 down to the south where Nick is, around Van Horn, 90 miles an hour is one of the radar estimates.
We are now in the core of really intense winds. We got a big burst right there. You can see we are going probably about 40 to 50, and you can see the wind is going faster than we are.
I don't know if Nick can actually hear me.
That was 90.
The storms are very, very...
We lost the window. We lost the back window.
If you guys can take Nick's mic down, we're gonna let them make sure they get to somewhere safe.
So I opened up the back door to the parsonage, and that's when my mouth dropped open. And I looked at the church, and I saw there was this huge hole right outside the church. On the corner, it just looked like somebody had just taken and just ripped part of the roof off. And we both came into the sanctuary as water was pouring down all through here. We pulled out the baptismal font. We pulled stuff off the altar. We were trying to do what we could to salvage as much. And in all honesty, we didn't know if the roof was just going to come in. I have a lot of elderly people in town that I just wanted to see if they were okay. So I looked down our street, and it was that eerie calm at the time, but there were just branches covering the road. The sky was still green. And at the end of the street where our congregation is, there used to be silos, grain bins and things like that. Those were gone. They were just gone. And I looked down there and I could just see the destruction. And I knew down at the end of that road there was a young family of ours down there too. So I went down and I checked, and thankfully, thanks be to God, they were okay. We had one woman in our congregation who she couldn't get down to her basement, and she put a towel over her head and prayed the Lord's Prayer as her whole house collapsed around her except the little bathroom that she was in. That was the only thing left standing. Another sister congregation of ours, that a grandfather was with his grandkids, and they hid underneath a tractor as the barn just was ripped out from over them.
We are going to be seeing these issues come into the Cedar Rapids area very shortly. So Newhall is really getting in on those intense winds right now. Large trees, very large trees blown down. We're probably all dealing with this.
I got back to my house, which is 50 to 100 yards away from the school, and the electricity had gone off. Couldn't open my garage door, so I couldn't put my truck in. So I pulled it up as close as I could to the house, and by that time it was raining, blowing, limbs are flying, leaves are flying. Was panicking because I knew there were teachers over here at the school. One of the teachers did call me, and I could tell she was scared, saying a strong sense of gas smell. And, what do we do?
I had been working on in my classroom. It was that time of the year where we get ready for school to start.
The six of us had gone into the bathroom to ride out the storm, which is where we send the kids when we have bad storms. We could tell the building was taking a hit. We smelled gas. Natural gas was coming from someplace. We assumed it was coming from the kitchen area, which is to the west.
I had no idea at the time that there would be hardly a corner of the building untouched by this, that wasn't in some way damaged.
Part of our school roof of our small gym had been ripped off, totally ripped off. And part of it ended up in our second grade classroom. Other parts of it were folded over on top of the school, and another part of it ended up in our neighbor's house. Getting to the second grade classroom where a teacher had her room ready to go, walking in the room and just seeing part of the roof in her room. I remember her starting to cry. I put my arm around her, not knowing what else to do.
One of the things that was just impressive to see, and this is a testament to the people here in this community and really just that good German Lutheran work ethic of tractors were just coming through the streets pulling trees out of the way. People were going into each other's yards, breaking up stuff, picking up stuff. Trucks were going down, loading trash. Didn't matter if you knew the person. It didn't matter if you had stuff to do too. Their first concern was, how can I help my neighbor? That's what they were doing. Right away, the congregation in Van Horn said, don't even think about it, you're coming here. And their community got hit hard too, but their church was still in pretty good shape.
I mean, our church wasn't that severely damaged. We had some shingle damage, a couple windows broken in, and trees down, of course, but compared to Keystone, our damage was minor. But when the saints from St. John Keystone came and added, to the choir and to the singing rather, it was just marvelous to hear the church just filled, just filled up the church with singing. To come together for over a year and a half, or almost a year and a half, was just marvelous.
It was within, I think, 2 days or so after this all happened, and in walks Carol, our LCEF rep. She has cookies and snacks, and she's like, whatever you guys need, just give me a call. Lutheran Church Extension Fund was going to be there to help, ease that burden as much as they could. And we can use, an organization that we can trust, that we know is going to actually want us to succeed because it's for the sake of Christ and His church. LCF was always right there alongside of us anytime we needed them. Here we are almost 2 years to the day after the Derecho hit, and here I am standing back in our sanctuary again. And it does look a little bit different, but it's still St. John Lutheran Church in Keystone, Iowa. So our congregation has been gathering around God's Word and sacraments for 125 years. And so even these 2 years later, we look back now, and at times when there was so much that was unknown, Christ was faithful through all of it, and that we did know the whole time. As much as a 120-mile-per-hour windstorm can take our homes away, can take our farms away, can take our livelihood away, can even almost take our church building away, it didn't take Christ away. It never will. Nothing will do that.